So as someone who's chronically online, I see a lot of dumb takes. I see a lot of dumb people on the internet. And this right here is just another great example of that, okay? Where there's some new Tomb Raider games coming out, okay? There's one coming out next year. There's another one coming out in 2027. Also, over the last couple of years, we've had some of like the first 6 Tomb Raider games. They've been remastered. I think remastered or remade, either one, right? But because of that, people have been talking about Tomb Raider. And a few days ago, someone made this post here saying Tomb Raider is an IP designed for teenage boys. It's not for grown women. It's not for queer folks like myself. It's not even for grown-ass men. Lara Croft is a character designed for the sole purpose of luring males between 16 and 21 into buying video games. And if you are a normal functioning human being, you yourself would look at that and you go, yeah, that's true. Because it is. That's what Lara Croft was designed for. That's why. She was designed for kids, like teenage boys, all right? Not kids, sorry. Teenage boys and like young adults to go, oh, wooga, I want to buy this game. Oh, pretty woman, big titties. Hell yeah. I'm buying it. I'm spending my money on that. That's what it is. But then there was some dumb fuck who went ahead and retweeted this saying, worst take yet. And don't you just love it whenever someone says like that is the worst take and then they proceed with the worst take in human history? Because that is what this is right here. She's a queer icon and she'll always be. 90% of the fan base is LGBTQ and she inspired millions of women, including kid female gamers across the globe, in a world designed specifically for male audiences. She broke every single barrier and she's still thriving. This is the dumbest fucking shit that I have heard. And this is easily misproved. Because when did Tomb Raider come out? It didn't come out in the year 2019, okay? Where all, like, you know, in the last few years, when it comes to the alphabet community, they've been, like, trying to dip their ways into the gaming space, okay? And whenever it comes to them, like, you know, whenever it comes to these games that do push, you know, the gay agenda and all this kind of shit, you know, all these stupid ideological politics that no one gives a fuck about, they come out with characters like we saw from Dragon Age of Valgard, okay? They don't come out with sexy characters. They come out with women who they try to like push them too much towards being men. So that right there is like an easy way that you can distinguish this. This game, the first Tomb Raider, came out in 1996 before all of this type of shit was out there, okay? And even though, still to this day, men are the majority of who play video games, okay? I know that a lot of people on the internet like to try to tell you otherwise, but it's still true. Men are the majority. And if you think they are the majority now, just imagine what it was like back in 1996. And there's actually an article back in 1999 called The Man Behind Lara Croft, where this was released by the US Times. And you can tell that this is released back in 1999 just by reading the first fucking sentence right here, because you know goddamn well that anything like this would not be written in this day and age, where it says Agent Smith is not 17 years old. The British game designer's hormones are about a decade and a half past the raging stage, yet talk to him about his creation, Lara Croft, buxom heroine of the Tomb Raider series of computer games, and his face lights up with a naughty boy grin. That right there just tells you that, yeah, this is not from the year 2025. This isn't even from the year 2015. This is 100% back in the good old days. And then if you go on and read through this article, it says here by the creator himself, it says, Lara is an enduring icon for adolescents, but she's also popular with younger kids who aren't really thinking, wow, she's a babe. So this just goes to show that, yeah, it was made for adolescents. Is that she's the first female protagonist in a field filled with muscle-ripped, machine gun-toting macho characters like Duke Nukem or the Terminator. And that's why Lara Croft was made. Because back then, basically, pretty much all of the main, like, you know, protagonists of when it came to video games, you know, when it came to like Doom and Duke Nukem, and then, you know, you had the Terminator, which was movies, and then those were made into games as well, is that it was all about the big, like, you know, strong ass dudes, and we all love that, right? We do. Besides like Samus from Metroid Prime, but even then she was in like the suit majority of the time, okay? Like majority of the time when you played through the games, she was still in the suit. So Lara Croft was meant to combat that, but not in the way of like, you know, just pushing this girl power in this ridiculous way that a lot of, you know, the modern day fucking game developers do these days with their stupid games, and, you know, when it comes to like Dragon Age of Valgard and all that bullshit, right? Is that they made her extremely hot. That's why. She's strong-willed and independent, like the Spice Girls. And what were the Spice Girls? The Spice Girls were fucking hot. They were hot, okay? They were 100% hot. I mean, Lara Croft has always been about being hot. All right. It's why that the recent TV show that came out with her flopped so hard. And I know it's not just because they, reduced her titty size and focused more on her muscles and stuff like that. I mean, that's obviously one of the reasons. That just like is a blatant look at it where they go ahead and they change a character and they try to make her from, how sexual she was and all about her femininity. And then they change that and they try to make it like, no, we want like this girl boss. Well, obviously when you start doing that, eventually more than just the character design is going to leak into the writing, and it's just going to become terrible as well. And it's going to be one of those shows where the critics go, oh my God, it's such a great show because it's about feminine power and girl power. And then the fans go, no, this is not what fucking Lara Croft is about. You just changed her into a complete shill of herself. And the really funny thing about this is that shit like this happens all the time when it comes to like the LGBT community and video games, because there will always be a game that gets released and it will be like this hot, sexy female character. These people will come out, talk about how gross it is, talk about how it's for the incels, you're objectifying women. And then because it's such a great game, because like, the IP is great, they play it, or, it goes around in the communities and they can't deny that it's good. Like they can't. It's not like I said, with Dragon Age of Valgard, where people played that, and even though they tried to push it and be like, oh no, how dare you, you're sexist, it's just like, well, yeah, it has all these stupid ideological politics, but at the same time, the game's just fucking ass. With these games, Tomb Raider's great. It's a great series. If you've played like the reboot from a few years ago, like the last 3 that came out in the main series, those are good. I played 2 of them. I haven't played all 3 of them, but they're actually good. They are really good games. And they still made Lara Croft hot in those games. They did. Now, they reduced her titty size just a little bit, but she is still hot. But then they play these games, right? And then they start getting mad at you because they want to be able to enjoy it too. And then they start telling you about how it's for the girlies and how, they're a gay icon. And then they talk about how it's like always belonged to them. And that now you're invading it and you're taking it away from them. I mean, it happens all the time. It went from Lara Croft, then to Bayonetta, then to Nier Automata. And before you know it, it's going to be like fucking with Stellar Blade as well. I mean, I've already seen some people on the internet over the last few months. Like, remember when Stellar Blade came out and everyone was talking about how it's like for fucking gooners and how it's this gooner game of the year and all that shit? Yeah, well, now they're trying to claim it as like, oh, Stellar Blade was about 2 lesbians. They're such lesbians. Oh my God, it's like it's a gay icon. Stellar Blade, Eve is actually a gay icon. It's like, what the fuck? No. Why is it that whenever there's a sexy ass character, you just try to claim it? First, you just get mad about it, and then you try to claim it, and then like with Bayonetta, like the LGBT community, they always keep trying to claim Bayonetta and be like, oh my God, she's a lesbian. Oh my God, she's like my queer awakening. And then when it comes out that she's got a husband with a kid in the story, like they get fucking mad about it. Like they're mad as fuck. And this is why like a lot of people begin to hate the LGBT community, especially when it comes to, the gaming spaces, because they take something that is clearly that was made for this demographic. It was made for a certain demographic, right? That's what Lara Croft was made for. It was made for adolescents, for like, teenagers and young adults. And then dumb fucks like me as well, okay? It's made for people like me. I will admit. Gooners. And then they tell you that this game is you're an incel if you like it. You're a gooner. You're objectifying women. And then because the game is so good, they can't deny it anymore. And then instead of just, saying that, oh my God, yes, it's actually a good game. Yeah, the sex appeal was really great. It did put towards the male gaze a decent amount. They go, let us enjoy it. How dare you tell me not to enjoy it? And then they try to say that it's like, oh, it's for the girlies. It's actually for this. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Stop like trying to claim something. Why do you need to claim it anyways? What's so bad about it that it's not for you? Okay? Not everything has to be for you. Just like not everything's for me. The only difference is that when something isn't for me, it just ends up fucking tanking. This happens so much and that's why a lot of people are beginning to hate. Well, not even beginning to hate. That's why a lot of people hate a lot of these people in these spaces of when it comes to the video, especially in the video game industry, because they try to push themselves and try to claim a lot of things and try to like push their agenda in every single spot of video gaming that they can. And that's why people resent these other people, because of shit like this. But before this video ends, can we just get a appreciation as well to Angelina Jolie as Lara Croft back in the 2000s? One of the best castings ever. God damn, she was fucking hot in Tomb Raider in the movies. Absolutely fucking amazing. That's going to be it for me. But definitely like to hear what you guys think about all this down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.